in part why Donald Trump has laid down crushing 25% tariffs on Canada, and now Canada has retaliated with 25% tariffs. And Justin Trudeau knew that Donald Trump hated him, and he continued to be prime minister, not calling an election, and pro-rogue government. Why did Justin Trudeau knowingly continue to hold on to power, not call an election, and pro-rogue government? He put Canadian interests in jeopardy. You know, as a negotiator, if you're on the other side, the other person doesn't like you, there is a potential that other person is going to go ahead and put down harsher consequences at you just to get back at you personally. Trudeau knew that. Trudeau knows that they don't have a good relationship. He knew there was going to be a renegotiation. He knew potential tariffs were coming. Instead, selfishly, he continued to hold on to power and allow Donald Trump to go ahead and do this. Now, it is a multifaceted issue. Don't get me wrong. The point that I'm making is he purposely put Canada in a position of weakness because of his feud with Donald Trump when he could have had somebody else negotiate in our best interest to a better degree. That's why I'm calling this out. That's why Mario has called it out, and I completely agree with him. Trump hates Trudeau, and now he's digging it, and it's going to affect all Canadians. And now we are faced with 25% crushing tariffs that is going to throw our economy in a complete deep recession. If we weren't already in one, now we are in the middle of the deep end.
Yes, immediately following Trump tariff announcement, the value of both the Canadian dollar and Mexico peso are in free fall. Don't mess with the United States of America. When you take a look at this, you can clearly see how it is going down. It is not even up to 24 hours that this announcement came, and what I'm observing is totally different. I don't know why Canada took up a decision rating soldiers like they are ready. Watching this other guy today, he had something to say.
Do you believe that tit-for-tat tariffs with the United States could lead to a trade war that Canada cannot win?
I believe we're already in a trade war, and I believe no one will win. I think both countries will lose. And that's my message to our American friends. Why? Why would you want both of our countries to lose a trade war when we have the most successful trading, security, and geographical relationship that any two countries have ever had in the history of the world? Why would you want us to lose, both of us? Because that's what's going to happen. This will make America poorer, weaker, and less safe. Will Canada lose? Of course. We're both going to lose. So let's stop losing on both sides of the border. Let's hammer out our differences and actually trade more. That would be a winning solution to all of this, and that is the message that I will bring as we put Canada first.
There is something he said here. Even if you believe in tariffs, how is it possible to put a 25% tariff on Canada and only a 10% tariff on China? In what strategic mindset does that make sense? That is a question he asked. When I look through social media, the kind of responses, people pouring on this video, at the end, we are going to find out what exactly is going on.
So just hours ago, Trump said on Truth Social he believed Canada would, quote, cease to exist as a viable country, unquote, without the U.S., and hinted again that he won't end the tariffs until we become the 51st state. So I want to know, at what point is Canada's relationship with the U.S. beyond repair, and is there even a path forward for reasonable negotiation with someone like him at the other end of the table?
Our friendship with the Americans is not based on any one politician. It is based on our centuries-long history of trade, of friendship, of common defense, of fighting on the battlefield, arms locked together against common enemies. We will continue to build that friendship with the people of the United States. But let me be clear, we are an independent and we are a proud nation. And we will come through this an independent and a proud sovereign nation. We will not back down. We will not cease. We will continue to march forward as proud Canadians. Thank you.
You mentioned the economic jeopardy for American refinery workers in your remarks. Is Canada's negotiating position today still weakened without the prospect of restrictions or export taxes on its biggest export by far, energy and crude oil?
Well, I think the reason that Justin Trudeau has refused to answer that question, and the reason why numerous Quebec leaders have, surprisingly, to some might be surprised to learn, have come out against it, is because it's not clear how Western oil would actually make it to Quebec, given that the oil we transport from Western Canada to Quebec goes through the United States, goes down into the States through lines 5 and 9 and back up to Quebec. Of course, Eastern Canada has to import a lot of Eastern American oil because we don't have a transnational pipeline. Furthermore, we don't export any of our natural gas to any country other than the United States because the government here has blocked LNG export plants. So the question then becomes, where else would we export our oil and gas? And I think we're all starting to realize just how absolutely reckless it was for Mr. Carney, Ms. Freeland, Mr. Trudeau to block pipelines and other resource projects that would have made us less reliant on the United States. And so all of these suggestions of blocking Canadian energy exports have to be followed up with a question. Where else would you sell our resources? Yeah, right, but we have nowhere else to sell it. So that is the question that, these are the questions that have to be answered. So far, the Prime Minister has said that he does not want to divide the country by attacking one industry in one region against the other, and I actually commend him for those remarks, and I agree with him on that.
Yes, I don't know if by now these people don't know Trump. What exactly? I don't get it. When you take a look at this tweet, we pay hundreds of billions of dollars to subsidize Canada. Why? There is no reason. We don't need anything. We have unlimited energy. Should make our own cars and have more number than we can ever use. Without this massive subsidy, Canada ceases to exist as a viable country. Harsh but true. Therefore, Canada should become our cherished 51 state, much lower taxes, and far better military protections for the people of Canada, and no tariffs. Trump is not making his word. I understand he is just trolling these people, but take him seriously. That is what I've noticed with this man. Don't take his word. When he started this issue of tariff, I thought it was a joke. Look at it today.
Tonight, I am announcing Canada will be responding to the U.S. trade action with 25% tariffs against $155 billion worth of American goods. This will include immediate tariffs on $30 billion worth of goods as of Tuesday, followed by further tariffs on $125 billion worth of American products in 21 days' time to allow Canadian companies and supply chains to seek to find alternatives. Our response will also be far-reaching and include everyday items such as American beer, wine, and bourbon, fruits and fruit juices, including orange juice, along with vegetables, perfume, clothing, and shoes. It'll include major consumer products like household appliances, furniture, and sports equipment, and materials like lumber and plastics, along with much, much more. And as part of our response, we are considering, with the provinces and territories, several non-tariff measures, including some relating to critical minerals, energy, procurement, and other partnerships.
It is simple. Secure your borders. That is the message. Trudeau is not ready to listen. He allowed this to happen for a very long time. Now, look at the end result. People will be suffering as a result of your negligence.
And now is also the time to choose Canada. There are many ways for you to do your part. It might mean checking the labels at the supermarket and picking Canadian-made products. It might mean opting for Canadian rye over Kentucky bourbon, or foregoing Florida orange juice altogether. It might mean changing your summer vacation plans to stay here in Canada and explore the many national and provincial parks, historical sites, and tourist destinations our great country has to offer.
Yes, I don't know if this is a good one. We are going to see the end result.
Canadians boo American national anthem at Ottawa NHL game.
Said a statement several weeks ago continues. The president will be implementing 25% tariffs on Mexico, 25% tariffs on Canada.
As President Trump stated yesterday, he is still committed.
Thank you guys for always being there, sharing out my videos. God bless you abundantly. I put clips at the end. That is for algorithm. You can end here. I'll be glad. And please remember to always share out the videos. God bless you.
Early on, immediately.
She's probably been put in there because, according to Donald Trump, she's a 10 to her.
No, the EU does not treat the U.S. fairly on trade and that he has some big complaints. Is that true?
Right? And it doesn't mean that we should sit and pretend that it's suddenly okay, that this new presidency is just going to keep on keeping on. That is not the case. And because, final point for me, a year and a half is because...
This is the United States.
You're talking about a man who didn't become the president of the United States because of merit.
This lady is not.
Where awful things have happened. So,
And sparks move things. And it doesn't matter how much water you have.
Future president and his gag
are funky in policy.
The city of the Pacific Palisades is burning, and I flew here last night. I was on a plane, getting texts.
So I am evacuating my home.
What we need to do against what we know is right, and these are the results.
Trump is now calling that Gavin Newsom should step down.
This is you getting water to areas that need water because there are fires in 100-mile-an-hour winds.
The situation is beyond control.
For the work that he's been trained his whole life to do.
What do we do?
Right now you're looking straight. Remember it.
As a country about
Yeah, and then I think all our tax dollars probably went for Gavin's hair gel. I don't know, but it's like, it's sad.
I want to
be, Jim Jordan.
In the 5 tenants of
Palisades Village right here. This is the town center of sorts.
And he did this little dance.
Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii.
And then we watch the news or talk to my friends.
Now, look, I have a lot of fear that as...
I'm not going to dignify his remarks.
So now, in the wake of a national tragedy like Wednesday's fatal plane